Before marriage, I expected myself to not be working, or I have a choice if I want to work. If I work, it's purely out of choice. But then after marriage, I found that it wasn't the case because my husband had other aspirations in life as well, and which, in order for him to pursue his dream, I would need to work, not out of choice. Well, in a way, out of choice because I'm here to support him. But then increasingly, when the children came along, then it was no longer a choice. I had to work.
Okay, actually, this is not 100% W. Okay, just joking only.
Yeah.
Okay, but the expectations, I think, before marriage is sometimes you feel that it would be nice, one person work, the other person stay at home. But over time, I think those expectations change. There are times when Claire was at home, I was working. There are times when I've been at home, Claire was working. There have been times when we were both working. It changed according to the seasons. I mean, thankfully, we had some flexibility. We had options. It's hard to see at the start of your marriage the things that are going to happen over the years. And I think if you hold on to your expectations rigidly, I think that's where some couples, they really get into trouble.
Okay, so probably when it comes to finances, before obviously we had our own goals, right? Our aspiration, we were already started working before we got married. So financially, probably I had my own goals and what I wanted to do with the income, and she probably had hers also. For example, I would just say things that we spend our money on, for example, would be very different before we got married. She would buy her own stuff, I'll buy my own stuff. And then after?
We were taught in prep, or rather we were asked this question, would you all have a joint account together? And we thought, we never thought of it until the question was asked in prep. So we decided to do it because if we marry each other, we should be able to trust each other and we should see ourselves as us, not you and me. So we started having joint account decades ago. And it has really worked out for us. There's no second guessing of whether you are hiding things from me, you are spending on stuff that I should not know about. So there's that clear transparency and trust. And it just permeates into the rest of the marriage to give us both that trust with each other, that assurance that we're not hiding things.
I think having this arrangement gives you one less thing to worry about and to really quarrel about. So getting things simplified, it's actually really good, especially in this area of finance. You'll be very surprised that money is always usually the cause of a lot of arguments and disagreements, even in a marriage.
Yeah, and one thing is, I think individuals see that whatever they earned it out of their own ability. So they keep it in their own account, separate from their spouses.
That's my money and my effort.
But what we see is that the Lord has blessed us as a whole, whether the income is earned by the wife or the husband, is for our family. So having a joint account just simply makes sense.
Yeah, makes it in that pure form of transparency that you see the whole big picture together.
So, before we got married, we already discussed and agreed that we will share the household chores. So when we had our own place, every weekend was doing household chores Saturday mornings. So we had our own areas to cover. Like for me, it's mopping the floor.
And iron your own shirt and pants.
Yes, then she cleans the toilets.
I think when we went for marriage prep as well, that was something that we talked about, so who's going to do what? And for me, I hate ironing, and I told him, anything that's shirt and pants, you iron. Anything that's a blouse and skirt, I iron. So that was very good lah. So it managed. I think that helped us when we transited into our own homes. One of the things I struggled when we got married is that I was quite irritated that there was dirt on the floor, because I grew up in a family where my mom is a homemaker, so she cleans and sweeps the floor almost every other day. So I can't stand the feeling of dirt on my feet. And I think we did have a few discussions about it, can we mop more often, can we clean more often? But it was not possible because we were both working. And at that time, we didn't have the budget to get a maid, and there was no robot cleaner lah. I mean, now you have the robot cleaner, so I think that solves a lot of the problem. So thankfully, I had this ingenious idea. I bought a pair of slippers and just wear in the house. So I don't feel the dirt, I'm very happy, and he's also happy. Yeah, so that's how we got by after marriage. And then later on, we had part-time cleaner coming in, and with the kids, then we got help. So we have learned that some things we can outsource, we outsource lah. Some things we can't, then we have to do it ourselves. So that's something that we transited lah from before marriage and after marriage.
Okay. So before, I believe the men should do all the heavy lifting at home. change light bulb, painting, all the handiwork stuff lah. Alright, that should be done by the men, and then women everything else lah.
I think that's wishful thinking. First and foremost, I couldn't cook, and I'm so weak. A lot of things I cannot do. So we tried to chip in lah. In the first couple of years in our marriage, we didn't have a helper, and then we had 2 kids. And then both of us were working and in the ministry. It was quite overwhelming. We had support from in-laws, from parents, and we just tried to do whatever we can to get by. And it did help. And eventually, later on, we decided it makes sense to get a helper, having more kids come along. And that did ease our household chores, responsibilities, and also gave us more quality time to spend with each other and with the children.
Come to think about it, the helper actually replaces more of the everything else. What else? I still change the light bulbs, I still do all the DIY stuff where things break down at home, change batteries, etc. So yeah.
But those things don't happen all the time.
It happens very frequently. Heater doesn't work, leaking roof. Okay. And then, daddy, kill cockroach. You know that I'm the cockroach exterminator at home. Only one person can do that job at home, nobody else. Even the dog runs away from pests.
Okay, we wrote before is once a week, where as a couple, wow, we spend a lot of time together. After marriage is once a while. I mean, we hope to continue the once a week.
With the children, when the children came along, yeah.
Especially the weeks they have things and all those, we have to be at home to help them with schoolwork. So our challenge is how to make time for each other, and definitely the once a while is not the best lah. So we always strive to at least once a month, once a fortnight, to sneak some time out, like even if it's an hour or 2. I think before we had kids, we could spend days, a lot of time with each other. Yeah.
100% to get time together before marriage. We were joined at the hip. After marriage, after 26 years, more like 60 to 80% of the time together. Yeah, I mean, that's life. It's not the honeymoon stage for the rest of your life. And the honeymoon stage is very important. You need to spend a lot of time to get to know each other. But life is life. And you end up doing things that you need to do. And in Singapore, it's also very busy. So I think finding time, making time is actually very important. So even after the kids were born, we look for time. We drop them off for their schools, events, we're waiting to pick them up, we'll have time together to do stuff. So we find for things to fit in, but again, trying to be positive about it and not being so negative that we can't always be together. Yeah.
So we found that before marriage, you're in love and all your love hormones are very actively involved, all the chemicals in your brain, the love rush, everything is there, and you can't wait to see each other and you cannot live apart from each other. Every waking moment you're thinking about your partner.
I didn't know that's how you felt.
You mean you didn't feel that way before marriage?
I didn't know that's how you felt.
Okay.
That's how
but that's how you felt, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I still feel.
Okay, good. That's a good answer.
Yes.
So after marriage, we found that there are a lot of responsibilities coming in. And so sometimes it's hard to balance at the start. And I found myself feeling after marriage seems like we're not spending any time together. Our weekends are packed with family or church or different things, and then during the weekdays we're busy with work, and sometimes we work late into the night as well.
I mean, we can even be together but not feel like we are spending time together, especially since there was one stage where we're actually working in the same office. And so you have this sense that, we are seeing each other, we are together, but because of that, we have this false sense of actually spending time together. And that's something that we had to address as well.